Alright, some solid Nobody 2 cosplay here. That or I'm going to be watching a lot of streaming content for the next few weeks or so. Speaking of which, going to give some love to the sponsor of this video. This video is brought to you by the Sony Bravia 8 Mark II, the pinnacle of Sony TV technology. With 50% increased brightness, XR Triluminos Max, allowing you to see billions of accurate real-world colors. Because movies look beautiful, but it doesn't do you much good if you don't have the tech to properly view it. Picture also has increased motion smoothness, looks amazing during sporting events. But don't forget the audio, the Sony Bravia Theater System 6. Not just with 5.1 surround sound, but Dolby Atmos and DTS:X. That's the kind of audio compatibility you start looking for on the 4K movie box. And the audio works in tandem with the Bravia 8 Mark II TV. Isolates the vocal track to the TV speakers, making voices clearer, allowing the external speakers to concentrate on sound effects that'll blow your teeth out. Dramatization, teeth will not blow out. So click the link below, check out the Sony Bravia 8 Mark II and or the Sony Bravia Theater System 6. Bring the power of the theatrical experience where it belongs. Home. As for this, I'll tell you about that later. Try to, get something a little more familiar going. I mean, my shoulder looks enormous under this, but it is what it is. So Nobody 2 is the follow-up to the surprisingly entertaining 2022 film Nobody, in which Bob Odenkirk plays Hutch, a family man who also happens to be a hitman, an assassin, a man with exceptional skill. This time around, he wants to go to this theme park he has childhood memories of, make some new memories with his family, in which there's corruption, baddies, they don't know who they're dealing with, thus we have a sequel. A sequel in a world where, let's face it, can the sequel happen? Yes. Is it justified? Not always, or usually. We're already rooting for Hutch in the way he balances his family life and his enforcer life, I guess I'll call it. But this movie kept up what the first movie gave us. The action sequences were entertaining, the hits were satisfying, the flow was engaging, and the needle drops. Gotta give marks to the music, because the music was fun. But not only does Nobody 2 lend itself to it, the premise, when that simple premise I described is kept in the crosshairs, it's actually remarkably entertaining. This guy we already know has skills, is a badass. He goes to this theme park with his family. He just wants to relax, go on vacation. Then there's this small town corruption. A bunch of douchebags are running the place. Like Walking Tall or Porky's. Porky's is a weird pull, but it is in the spirit, kind of. This guy's now gonna take on the power of this small town because they just messed with his family. The moment that one dude smacks his daughter on the head, I was like, and this is where he's a dog with a bone and he's not letting up. And it's fun, entertaining stuff, which is exactly what I wanted from this movie. I was like, look, just be entertaining. It was, for the most part. I mean, the movie's ridiculous, but it does fly in the realm of ridiculous. Again, for the most part, that works for the movie. Is the last act pretty much hard target? Yeah, but I think the movie makes a crucial mistake. I mean, of course, there's gonna be someone behind the someone, you know, the guy behind the guy. The guy behind the guy ends up being the lady behind the guy, Sharon Stone. Sharon Stone in this movie is awful. Nobody 2 almost feels like Sharon Stone's making up for the fact that she didn't make it to Ham and Cheese in the Catwoman movie. She was ridiculous to a degree that doesn't line up with the movie, to a degree that stands out like a broken arm on a floating torso. Have your big baddie run in the small town, but don't make him feel like a cartoon. Yeah, this movie with her, and only her, flew too close to the cartoon's son. When it was Hutch taking on the corruption in this small town, the corrupt sheriffs, I was locked in. I didn't question anything. It almost feels like someone was like, yeah, but the first cut of this movie's only an hour 15 minutes. We need to give it a little more time. Need to add 15 more minutes with Sharon Stone coming in as the big bad. I was more invested with Colin Hanks' character and the other shady elements in town. The movie does take that opportunity to make other characters more sympathetic when they weren't at first. That was a nice surprise. But I feel you still could have done that without the baton exchange of baddies, so there's that. In the end, I enjoyed Nobody 2. I think Nobody 1 is a better film overall. Maybe it's just more surprising, it felt newer. That lightning in a bottle of the first movie that a sequel just can't capture. But as for his sequel, Nobody 2, it's pretty entertaining. The action's fun, the stunts are creative, the fights are engaging. With the pure intent of Hutch just wanting to go on vacation with his family and they start messing with his kids, and then time's up. I have myself a fun time with Nobody 2. No alcohol required. Okay, as for the rest of this nonsense, this is all the result of motorcycle versus car. A car driver who wasn't paying attention and a motorcycle rider, that's me, who didn't have time to react. Hit the car I did. Flew, tumbled, the works. One broken, and I mean broken, snapped in half humorous, and 3 broken ribs later, broken ribs in my back, which makes a lot of things hurt. I'm telling you about this for a couple reasons. One, I'm gonna look a little funky in videos to come, but just so you know, for the next few weeks at least, I'm not gonna be able to make the advanced screenings for movies. Because I'm also one of those guys, you know what's great? Manual transmission. And it is, until you need 2 working arms and you only have 1. So I'm kind of relegated to taking ride share to the local movie theater, or getting a ride from a friend or family member in which I'll just pay for their movie ticket so they can watch the movie. Is what my brother and I worked out today. I'm really thankful and I'm in good spirits. I do appreciate your patience as I get you reviews for movies when the movies come out rather than in advance for the time being. To my fellow riders, ride safe out there. To my fellow drivers, please watch out for motorcycles. All right, so Nobody 2. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.